see in the media is that there's sort of a dampening down of information. There's a very much an effort to control what's going out. So we have seen government officials coming and giving out not a lot of information, but also on the news channels, on the radios, people are being urged to be patient and to wait for official communication from the authorities.
Is there a sense amongst Kenyans of what you sense the situation to be there?
Well, Kenyans are obviously very interested in what's going on. People are really tweeting. There's a lot of Twitter activity. There's a lot of comment on what's going on, and also people just saying, my brother has been released, or my brother is still in there. So people are really keeping up to speed on what's going on. It's a very personal story for many Kenyans, as you can imagine.
Juliet, you're there as part of BBC Monitoring. Through the course of the weekend, we saw a lot on social media sites from the group themselves, putting out statements, putting out justification, putting out lines like they would not negotiate. Has that quietened down, or are they still managing to post things?
Well, what's happening is that as soon as one Twitter account is suspended by the Twitter administration, another one goes up. I mean, just this morning I've counted maybe 3 different accounts which all claim to be run by Al-Shabaab, are all posting updates and threats against the hostages. So they're still managing to get the word out. And what I've seen is Kenyans on Twitter are really trying not to sort of propagate or forward what the groups are tweeting on their accounts. And there's a call for people to ignore those accounts, not to engage with them, not to forward their messages, and in an effort not to instill fear in each other.
Well, exactly on that point, it's interesting because the Interior Ministry also tweeted and urged people to stay calm. And I suppose that is exactly the point you're making, because this is a terror attack, and by design, it is there to terrorize the people.
A very valid point.
Yes, it is. And there's been, there's a lot of information flying around, as you can imagine. Some of it unverified. There are reports of maybe other attacks which might happen. And a lot of this information is flying around on social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, and maybe even on things such as WhatsApp groups. So the authorities are really trying to ensure that they keep people calm, that they keep people, going about their daily life. But it's really a big concern for everyone, who's accessing this kind of information, because it really has a terrible effect on the population that's not affected directly by the Westgate Mall attack.
And do people understand, in terms of the length of time it is taking for this operation to come to a close?
Well, obviously everyone would like to see it end as quickly as possible. On Saturday, what I was seeing, people were very hopeful that it was going to end soon. But as it's dragged on from day to day, I've seen, people expressing despondency on social media. People are just terrified. But there's also a big push by the Kenyan media and authorities, to keep people's spirits up. So right now, what people are being encouraged to do is to donate blood, to help in any way possible, to donate money to a fund that's been set up, to go to the hospitals and volunteer. So it's obviously there's a feeling that it's taking too long, but people are being urged to fight back against the feelings of fear and despondency that threaten to take over the longer the siege continues.
Juliet, we saw tweets in the last half an hour from the immigration department there saying that the ports and exits and entries to the country had been tightened up. Was this one of the criticisms that people were voicing?
Yes, I mean, it has really been a concern for many Kenyans for the last several years. Our borders, people complain that our borders are too porous. For example, today on Twitter, I saw people complaining that, it's so easy for someone to maybe bribe a police officer and get in through the border. And also, there's this real big fear, maybe prompted by things that the Al-Shabaab has been tweeting, that there might be other attacks, from after this one. So I guess the authorities are just trying to make sure that, you know, they've bolted the doors and made sure that everyone feels safe and secure and can go on about their normal business.
Juliet, thank you very much. Juliet Gary there from the BBC Monitoring Services for us.
Well, we're just looking at the live pictures. We're back there.